The literal wildest thing about cars in Japan, or new cars specifically, is that you can watch TV as the driver. It's crazy. Okay, so this video is really just going to be like a bunch of random houses that we either got beat out for an application or we couldn't put in an application, etc. And I just wanted y'all to see what they look like so you had an idea of what some of these Japanese homes that people can rent look like, because these are like your standard rental for Americans, I guess. They're big, they're new. Really, I want an old one. I've wanted an old one the whole time, but most of those will not rent to foreigners. So this is just, if you want a freestanding house, these are what you're looking at. Is that just storage?
Toilet.
Oh, this is the toilet on the second floor. I love it. Smells funny in there. This one was in Yahoo, and it was a bit out of our budget at 250,000 yen a month, so we decided against it. House 2 on our second day of house hunting was another 3-story, and when you first came in the house after parking the car, you were on the ground floor level, so it had the master bedroom and a toilet, and what our real estate agent said was kind of like a nursery room. We could use it for an office, but obviously for us, it would end up being a nursery room. And then when you went up to the next level, that is where the kitchen, the living room, the bath, the washing machine was all located. Wow. Oh, it does have a dishwasher. Yeah. I love this space. Second toilet. The main drawback to this one, I felt like, was while the third floor was super spacious and the rooms were really large, there was no toilet on the third floor. So even though there was 2 really good sized bedrooms, there wasn't a toilet. So if you had guests or if Tom wanted to use that space for his office, he would have to walk down a few flights of stairs, which not the end of the world, but not great. But it wasn't a cute neighborhood. So house 3 was really neat. Basically, you came in and you had 3 bedrooms and a toilet all right there on that first level. Now, these had shutters, so they were really dark initially, but once the shutters were up, now all of these would need light fixtures. Like every single room, if you see the little dot on the ceiling, that's where you install a light fixture. So all of them would need us to get light fixtures. This one didn't have tons of storage, but I mean, 3 bedrooms on the main level I thought was pretty great, especially given that it had a toilet on this main level. I really thought the second floor layout of this one was cool, but Tom brought up an interesting point that there wasn't a ton of usable spaces. So it had a toilet there. And then it had this little room with slider doors, which at first I thought would be a great office for Tom, but, right off the living room and kitchen, probably not the best. And then obviously the bath and the washer were on that second floor, which I don't necessarily mind. I don't really like when the toilets are right there off of the living room and kitchen spaces, but this one had a really solid, open living room to kitchen. And then it had this storage loft upstairs, which from the photos, we thought was going to be taller. It wasn't usable for us, so we didn't go with it. So this is house 4. It's in Fusa. We really liked it, and we actually submitted an application on it, but we got beat out by somebody else. This one had an odd layout, but it was the leading contender at the time because of all the storage space. Like, they really prioritized storage space above all else. So you walked in, you had the living room on your right, you had a toilet and a pantry space, which was neat, but I thought the pantry space next to the toilet was an odd choice. It had a very big kitchen layout, and then behind the kitchen was obviously the bath and the washing machine, but then this massive closet. And at first I was like, is that where we would keep our clothes? Like, what would we put there, you know? But I'm an American, and the prospect of giant closets really drew me in. You know what I mean? Now, if we head upstairs on this one, it had 3 bedrooms upstairs and a toilet. The bedrooms themselves were all really small. So you had 2 very tiny bedrooms, and then the master was this funky layout of like 2 tiny rooms where the wall was partially taken down. It was very confusing, and it had 2 doors to go into the master, which was also really confusing. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah, so that was our disappointing day 2 of house shopping in Japan.